College of DuPage Continuing Education offers several short-term, non-credit career training programs in the healthcare industry. Our programs focus on high-need, entry-level healthcare professions where students can rapidly train and begin employment. Our short-term trainings help non-degree seeking students move into the workforce quickly, but they also serve as great starting points to explore higher-level healthcare disciplines and degree programs. The Continuing Education team actively engages and seeks input from leaders in the healthcare industry to provide top-notch training while meeting current workforce needs. Areas of study in our healthcare program include dental assistant, pharmacy technician, veterinary assistant, and massage therapy. College of DuPage Continuing Education also offers 2 very short-term healthcare training options with our Caregiver and Contact Tracer programs. All of our programs are affordable and offered with flexibility, allowing many students to train for new careers while working full-time. Our dental assistant, pharmacy technician, and veterinary assistant programs are great places to start for students who want to train quickly and take a fast track to employment in these high-demand healthcare occupations. The Dental Assistant program prepares students to deliver patient care and chairside support to dentists during exams and procedures. Dental Assistant training can serve as a springboard into College of DuPage degree programs such as dental hygiene or even into dentistry programs at other colleges and universities. Our pharmacy technician training is recognized by the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board and fully prepares students to take the National Certification Exam. Pharmacy technician students learn to assist pharmacists in all daily tasks while gaining the communication skills to effectively interact with patients and other healthcare professionals. Students passionate about caring for animals pursue a rewarding career with the Veterinary Assistant program at College of DuPage. This hybrid program is designed to prepare students to work with animals in laboratories, animal hospitals, and clinics. Students perform surgical preparation and animal nursing under the supervision of veterinary professionals. These programs can be completed in 1 semester, and each includes a critical externship component. Externships integrate classroom knowledge and theory with real field experience, provide networking opportunities, and directly prepare students for employment. Massage therapy is also a fast-growing field and a popular program in the continuing education healthcare portfolio. Students are trained in Swedish massage and more advanced techniques, such as prenatal and trigger point. Our in-depth massage curriculum also includes study of anatomy, physiology, pathophysiology, and kinesiology, and prepares students to take the Illinois State Licensing Exam. Continuing education works closely with area employers in these high-growth fields to ensure that our comprehensive training is up-to-date and consistent with industry standards and needs. 2 other programs also offer students interested in healthcare an opportunity to gain skills necessary to seek immediate employment. Students who want to explore a career in nursing may be interested in starting off with our Caregiver program. This week-long course covers topics such as client communication, basic hygiene, infection control, time management, and patient safety in order to prepare students for jobs as personal caregivers. Our Contact Tracer program meets a critical community need in a quick and affordable virtual format. This introductory online course focuses on the science of COVID-19 and why contact tracing is an effective public health intervention. Students learn how to build rapport with cases and identify contacts to stop transmission in their communities. Continuing education's short-term healthcare training programs lay a solid groundwork for career and college pathways that meet a wide variety of students' educational and personal goals. Students who complete these trainings and achieve employment have taken a first crucial step upon which they can move up the healthcare career ladder. To learn more about all the short-term healthcare programs offered through the Continuing Education Department at College of DuPage, please visit cod.edu/healthcare.
College of DuPage wants you to succeed both inside the classroom and out. Your studies are important, no doubt. So is discovering yourself by meeting people, making new friends, getting involved, and having fun. Oh, hey, Chappie! We've got you covered on both ends with plenty of resources to help make the most of your time.
And have an awesome college experience!
Being a well-rounded student, like anything else, is a healthy balance between work and play. When it's time to be serious about your work, our library is stocked with everything you need, plus comfortable spaces for individual and group study. Need a little extra help with your homework? The Learning Commons offers assistance in math, writing, reading, and speech, as well as options for tutoring and preparing for placement exams.
It's always a good idea to know your surroundings, know what's happening and who is near you. We call this situational awareness. Understanding and practicing situational awareness could one day be the difference between being unprepared and getting out of harm's way before a potential threat becomes real. So how good do you think you are at noticing your surroundings? Here's your task. Count how many times our mascot, Chappie, gets a high five. Ready? Go. How do you think you did? Chappie high-fived 6 people, but did you also notice the girl hiding under the table, the man in the hood dropping off a suspicious package, swapping the coffee cups, the sign changing in the background? Or what about the 2 in the background switching from soccer to basketball? You can see how easy it is to become so focused on something, you begin to condense your peripheral view of everything else. Exercising situational awareness is having a sense of what is happening in front of you, as well as your surroundings. It's also important to recognize baseline behavior of the people in your proximity, as well as any items that seem to be abnormal or out of place. Consider the man in the winter jacket. Does he look comfortable or nervous? Is he scanning the room for any obstructions? Maybe he's checking for any police presence in the room. Observing a person's body language can give you a good sense of what a person's intentions may be.
Also consider what the typical behavior of your environment would be like. Is someone wearing clothes that are unusual for the weather or location? Everyone else is wearing short sleeves, but this man has a heavy winter jacket on indoors. Being situationally aware also includes knowing where you are at all times and being able to accurately describe that location quickly, what room you're in, and if it has a number, what floor are you on? What's the name of the common area you're in? Would you be able to tell emergency personnel where you're at in a parking lot? On campus, it's also a good idea to familiarize yourself with emergency response guidelines posted in every room of each college building. Let's do another exercise. Focus on the screen. Don't worry, I'll wait. Okay, without moving your eyes away from the screen, who is sitting next to you right now? What color shirt are they wearing? Where are you right now? What level of the building are you on? What's the room number? What is the best evacuation route if you had to leave in a hurry? What's the second best route if the first is no longer an option? Having the ability to recognize a potentially dangerous encounter and being able to escape quickly if the situation escalates to confrontation can be life-saving. So when you were focused on the screen, were you able to easily answer all the questions, or was it a little more difficult than you would have thought? Did you notice any of the misspelled words? What about any missing words? Did you notice the narrator switched halfway through this video?
It's easy to overlook small details, but come on, you thought he was the same guy. I'm way prettier.
Really, it is easy to overlook small details, which is why practicing situational awareness is so important.
Half the battle is being conscious of it and understanding you need to do it everywhere you go.
The other half is actually practicing it, not just for you, but for those around you as well.
For example, in this scene from earlier in the video, this person does not see or notice the man staring at her. She doesn't notice when the man begins approaching quickly either, but watch the woman behind her, who has noticed, and see what she does.
The man in the hood may or may not have been hostile, but it was important to be aware of his presence and ready to move away quickly if needed. The woman behind her gave her that chance to be prepared, just enough time to move out of the way.
Now it's time for the real exercise.
Keep what you've learned here in mind everywhere you go. Be safe.
And practice situational awareness all the time.
Student athletes enjoy a winning tradition at College of DuPage, with one of the most successful community college athletic programs in the nation. The Mackinac Arts Center is not only home to students studying the arts, but it's also the place to catch a performance. There's theater, music, dance, art galleries, and more. If exercising and staying in shape is a part of your routine, check out Chaparral Fitness in the Physical Education Center, with free memberships for full-time students. COD is not a place where you have to just go to class and then go home. And seriously, who would want to?
Hello, my name is Mike Bach, and I'm an adjunct professor in the horticulture department at the College of DuPage, and I teach our Introduction to Beekeeping class. And I'd like to talk to you today about several things. One, why bees are so important to us. Two, some of the issues that they face. And maybe most importantly, three, what you can do to help out. And bees are struggling right now. Why should you be concerned about this? Because bees are critical to our agriculture, so much so that there are commercial beekeepers who move their hives all over the country on the back of trucks and charge farmers to put them in their fields to pollinate their crops. Many of them start every spring out in California for the almond crop, for about 2 weeks pollinating them. Some might move them up to Washington for pollinating apples. All told, there's about 130 different crops in the United States that rely on migratory beekeepers to pollinate their crops. And it's important to understand that the extra yields provided by this pollination, it's been estimated total about $15 billion of value to our agricultural industry. Now, you might ask, what happens if we didn't have bees? Look at the productivity at the bottom here. Without honeybees, pear trees would only generate about 99 pounds of fruit, as opposed to 344 pounds with honeybees. How about apples? Only 25 apples per tree versus 1,200 apples per tree. Now, bees are struggling mainly due to something called colony collapse disorder. You've probably heard about it in the news. This is an abnormal phenomenon where literally the majority of all the worker bees in the hive just disappear. And all that's left behind is a queen, a few nurse bees, and some immature bees. And they're not really sure why it happens. I think the general belief is that it's a combination of issues that build upon one another and cause colony collapse disorder. So for example, things like parasites, varroa and tracheal mites that weaken the bees and make them more susceptible to pathogens like the Israeli acute paralysis virus, deformed wing virus, sackbrood, and other diseases. There's also the use of pesticides, neonicotinoids. They are banned in Europe solely because they're concerned about their effect on bees, but they're widely used in the United States. And the general belief is that they affect the nervous systems of bees, which cause them to have problems with their navigation. There are some other things that they're considering, some of the stress from moving them around the country for migratory beekeepers, overuse of antibiotics, the quality of food that's available to the bees in the area that they're placed, even the genetic diversity of the commercial bee stock. Now, this sounds really bad, but there are quite a number of people working on how to address this particular issue. And it's all focused on trying to minimize the damage to our agricultural industry. So think about that $15 billion of crop yields. If we lose the honeybees and lose those yields, The prices go up for everything for everyone involved, and nobody wants to see that. Now, what can you do to help inside this? The biggest thing I'd tell you is that, remember, bees live near you. So minimize the use or avoid the use of chemicals and pesticides at your home. I would encourage you also to plant a bee-friendly garden with plants that bloom at different times throughout the summer to provide forage for local bees. You could also write Congress and ask them for more funding for bee research. And the biggest one I'd tell you is get involved. Start beekeeping on your own. Come and take the introduction to our beekeeping class at the college and get involved with the wonderful honeybee. Thank you for your time.
Whether you're planning on transferring to a four-year institution, studying to earn a degree or certificate for a specific career, sharpening job skills, or taking classes just for fun, College of DuPage truly has something for everyone. And it happens here. The main campus is amazing. If you haven't walked around yet, make a point. That's a must-do. College of DuPage has been working hard to make its campus the place to be with many brand new buildings and upgraded facilities, state-of-the-art instructional centers for health sciences, culinary and hospitality, technical fields, computing, and homeland security are all equipped with the latest technology for specialized education and careers.
Hello, welcome to another episode of In the Kitchen with Chris. Today we're going to be making a cheesy eggplant roll. Please remember, this appetizer today is meant to be very fast, very quick, and very easy. And so I made my own marinara sauce for it from scratch. But if you wanted to buy your own for this recipe, feel free to buy your own. It'll work perfectly. First thing we're going to do is make our filling. Our filling consists of ricotta cheese, eggs, mozzarella cheese, which has been shredded. We have some garlic, which has been sauteed already. And then we have some oregano, parsley, and basil. We also have a little bit of salt and pepper that we're going to add to taste, as we always like to say in the field. And then we're going to take our rubber spatula, and we are going to stir this all together very, very thoroughly. This will only take about a minute or so. And then the second part of this recipe is going to be the sauteed eggplant. So what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to take the eggplant and I'm going to peel it, because I personally don't like the peelings, how that tastes on the outside of eggplant. So it's personal preference. You want to leave it on, leave it on. Me personally, I always like to take it off. So we now have our filling all set, and as you can see, that only took about 30 seconds to mix. You can make this the day ahead, real simple. You can make the next part a day ahead, even simpler. You can make this entire dish the day ahead and then just put it in the oven for half an hour before your guests come. Couldn't be any easier. Next part is our eggplant. So we're going to put this on the side. And we're going to take our eggplant, and I like to cut the top and bottom off because I think it's a little easier to peel if you do that. So then I'm going to take my peeler and peel it all the way around. And again, if you don't get off 100% of the peel, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I'm going to take off most of the peel, and that's really all I care about. If there's a little bit of purple here and there, it's not a big deal at all. I'm just trying to get most of it off. And you can see how it takes a little bit of effort to peel it. It's not incredibly easy because sometimes the peel grabs the skin and sometimes it doesn't grab it real well. So this will make about, I say serving for 8 or 10, about there, okay? So again, I've got most of it off, which is fine. So I'm going to leave it like that just to show you that you don't have to remove every single piece. So we're going to take our eggplant, and I like to stand it up, and then we're going to cut 1/4 inch slices. Make sure they're not too thick, or else this is going to take a really long time to cook. So you want 1/4 inch slices. We'll get a couple more out of this. And again, I'm not going to cook all of this. I'm going to cook most of it. All right. Okay. Because again, remember, this is to show you the basics on how to do it. It's not to go through the entire process because it would take too much time on camera. So I've got a pan on right over here, and I've got it preheating on low to medium heat. You need low to medium because you want your eggplant to cook all the way through. If the heat is too high, what's going to happen is it's going to get too brown on the outside and it won't be cooked in the middle. All right, so now we're going to take our egg and our breadcrumbs. Italian breadcrumbs, panko breadcrumbs, pretty much any kind of breadcrumb you want. So we're going to take this, we're going to dip it in the egg, and then we're going to go right into the breadcrumbs. Now, something that we do in the field all the time is we call standard breading procedure. And if you notice, standard breading procedure, those of you that know a lot about cooking, you put flour on the item first. But in this case, it's not really necessary. So standard breading procedure is flour first, and then the egg, and then the breadcrumb. So we'll put a very thin coating, keep one hand wet, one hand dry. If you notice, then we won't have big clumps on your hand. And we'll do one more. And again, you would just do the entire eggplant. I'm not going to do the entire eggplant, but you would do the entire eggplant at home. So really press it on there so it really sticks. Okay. Then, now, if you notice, I have shaken the pan to make sure that it is got some olive oil underneath it. And you can see this does not take long. In fact, the first one, you can see the first one is almost done already. That'll be done in just a couple of seconds here. So we want a nice golden brown color on the top and the bottom. That's what we want. And then what we're going to do is we're going to transfer it over here. We're going to add our stuffing. We're going to roll it up. We're going to put some sauce on it, some Parmesan cheese, and then into the oven for about 20 minutes or so. Okay, here's another trick of the trade. When you turn these, I always add a little bit of extra olive oil. And then shake the pan again to make sure it's sitting in a coating of olive oil. And if you've noticed, we have our olive oil in a nice little ketchup bottle like this because it makes it very, very easy to put into a pan. So again, golden brown on both sides. So what this does is it makes the eggplant slightly flexible. It has to be flexible because we want to roll this. And if it breaks a little as you're rolling, don't worry about it. No one will know because you're going to cover it with sauce and cheese. Nobody will know. All right, just a few more seconds, and then we'll be ready to go. So remember, as you cook these in the oven, they're going to settle down a little bit. So it's going to look one way in the pan, but then it's going to settle, so don't worry about it. So you can do, as you can see, you can make this filling ahead, you can make the marinara sauce ahead, you can do the sauteed ahead. In fact, you can do everything we're about to do without the sauce ahead of time. And then the day of the party, just add the sauce and the cheese and pop it in the oven. Really fast and easy. Okay, so we're going to take our eggplant. Okay, and now we're going to take some cheese here, and we're going to put, in fact, I'm going to use a spoon instead. We're going to put cheese in the middle. You like a lot of cheese? Use a lot of cheese. You like a little cheese? Use a little cheese. You don't like cheese? Don't put any cheese in. Whatever you like. Remember, these are fast, easy appetizers. We want this to be simple. We don't want this to be complicated. We want to do something where it's fast and easy for you on the day of the party. Roll them up, place them in the pan. So if I was doing this at home, I would use a white oven-proof baking casserole dish. Works perfect. So we just roll them up, just like that. Okay, and as you can see, the eggplant is flexible and they rolled very nicely. And then you're going to take your marinara sauce. So again, I made this from scratch. If you want to buy it, go ahead and buy it. No one will know, no one cares. This is all about fast, easy appetizers. So as I said before, you can do everything up to the saucing a day ahead. Put the sauce on when you want to eat it, that same day. Don't put the sauce on ahead of time or else it'll make your eggplant Parmesan way too soggy. And then you're going to take your Parmesan, thank you Ted, and we're going to sprinkle Parmesan all over the top. And then we need to give this approximately 20-25 minutes or so in the oven. When it's a nice golden brown, it's done. So now, let's pop it in the oven. Ted, how's that eggplant Parmesan? Ready to go?
Yes, Chef.
All right. Okay, our eggplant Parmesan has been baking in the oven for approximately 15 to 20 minutes or so. If you want to go a little longer, you can, so not a problem at all. Basically, all we're doing is cooking everything through, getting it hot, melting the cheese. That's basically all we're doing. So now, you're going to take your utensil, and you're going to put it on your plate. And again, if you want to make these smaller, make them smaller. If you want to make them larger, make them larger. And one of the great things about cooking is you're only doing it you're doing everything based on your interpretation, I should say. I like to add a little something green, so you can use some chopped parsley. This is a little bit of chives. I think it adds a nice little counterpoint to the plate, and maybe even sprinkle a little bit on the outside. Well, there you have it. Cheesy eggplant Parmesan, fast, easy. You can do almost everything a night ahead, 2 nights ahead, without a problem at all. And then serve it to your guests the day of. Fast, easy appetizer. Hope you enjoy it. Have a great day.
What does College of DuPage have to offer you? In a word, opportunities. You name it, chances are you can study it here. College of DuPage offers over 230 degree and certificate programs. Associate degrees can be completed in 2 years when attending as a full-time student. Associate degrees allow students to transfer to another institution to continue their education or enter into a specific career field. Certificates of completion are offered for a variety of in-demand occupational and technical careers. With our 3+1 programs, it's possible to earn a 4-year degree from an area university without ever leaving the College of DuPage campus. No matter what you study, students at COD learn from the best with the one-on-one personal attention made possible with small classes. Experts in their field, our award-winning faculty are passionate about teaching and dedicated to your success.